Welcome to the Weekly Hijack.
Hello, all.
And we've got Once Upon a Time. We're going to talk about it a little late because we had some TV problems.
Yeah, we had technical difficulties.
Yes. But tonight's episode is called
Labor of Love.
All About Hercules. And Snow White.
And Snow White, which was okay. Go start with that because you had a very distinct reaction during that.
Well, she who was it? Regina pointed out we need Snow White here. We don't need Mary Margaret. And I was like, yes, because I never understood why she even bothered with the Mary Margaret name after the curse was broken at the end of the first season. And she stuck with the name. And at the end, she was like, yeah, I need to remember who I am. And I like that they actually addressed the fact that lately she hasn't been good for much but giving speeches about hope.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're actually course correcting to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Which is nice. It's like unfinished business.
Yeah. Yes, and I hope they stick with it.
Yeah.
Is the main thing.
So that was encouraging.
So yes, that was encouraging.
And again, just because I like to give Regina props, she's always the most sensible person on this show. I don't know, somehow all the writers can write her as in like what should be happening.
Yes, pretty much. I mean, there was a lot of silliness about this episode.
Oh yeah.
I mean, part of it is just inherent Once Upon a Time. I mean, the flashback was young Snow. The actress who plays young Snow White is always fantastic.
Yeah, she is very good.
She's crazy. The story itself, yeah.
I mean, it's a fine backup for what's going on in the real world, but it's just kind of there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sort of silly. Like, why send one princess with a bow and arrow to weed out a bunch of bandits? And, like, okay, it's so cool that you got the villagers to rally behind you, but...
I mean, who would expect the princess herself to take care of it anyways? And
yes, would anyone really?
Like, Regina, not your most insidious plan.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, it's okay. Yeah, it was just kind of a blah. It was not blah, but like so-so flashback.
Yeah, it could have been made a bit more sense.
It's really kind of sad that Hercules just been like
hanging out there.
It like just failed horribly and
never. That is pretty sad because that was.
He didn't get his last scout badge.
Yeah, his medals for finishing all the labors.
I know who made him do those, but those are kind of nice. I mean, if I had labor, I want little medals every time I finish one. Okay, we also have to talk about Henry here.
Oh, I like that they're bringing the author thing back. A very clever way to do it with Cruella being the one who is most invested in that author deal.
Cruella, I know when she first started, she was kind of just one tone, but I remember her episode was really good.
Yeah,
and I think there's a lot you could do with her in theory.
In theory, yes.
And I have given they're always struggling to give Henry an important role, and they did some last season.
Yeah,
you gave him a girlfriend-ish thing and stuff. Yeah, or last half season, I guess. And the all thing was always really cool, and then he broke it because it made sense.
And didn't he reference it at some point during the last half? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think he did somehow. Yeah.
The downside is they're still kind of overplaying the whole Emma as murderer thing, even though it was self-defense. And Cruella's line of argument that if she comes back from the dead, Emma won't be a murderer anymore. It's like, well...
It still happened.
Yeah, it still happened. Whatever happened, happened.
That's, yes. The most sense any time thing has ever said. Yeah, I don't understand the moral logic of it. Because it's not even forgiven. It's just, you're just reversing it. That's not the same as getting rid of it.
Yeah.
And apparently, it sounds like Henry's sold on it, like he wants to help. Like he won't even tell.
Well, he's at least considering it.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like the problem is, give Henry something cool to do, but don't make it in like I'm hiding from I don't know.
Give us some credibility.
Yeah,
like that's just silly. Like I said, there's lots of silliness in this episode.
Yeah,
some interesting ideas, but around a whole lot of cheese.
Yeah, and I wonder. Yeah, it'll just be interesting to see. Be like what they would with Cruella, and it's like if they bring back things that plot lines that they could finish up somehow or do something unique with. I think there's some potential, but again, there's a lot of silly possibly.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
And Hades is entertaining. I just still don't know. I understand he's mad about losing souls because that's his deal.
But like you said, it's weird if you can just change the rules.
That you can just stay. Yeah. Well, they gotta stay now, or
says who? I mean,
there's gotta be. I feel like Hades needs something else, and I think there is something else there. They're not telling us.
Yeah.
to make him really
Well, they hinted
work.
at that he has his reasons for making
Yeah,
the Underworld look like Storybrooke.
Yeah.
My guess is it'll wind up being something along the lines of the Snow Queen, this hidden thing that he's been obsessing over for a while that no one knows what it is yet.
Maybe, yeah.
It feels very similar to that.
So I'm interested in him. I mean, it was a pretty good episode. I think it moved forward. I mean,
yeah.
Now I don't quite, Meg. Erline has this like deep like how horrendous Cerberus is. It's just hard to for us as monster of the week. So it's hard to get like, oh, I'm really worried about this monster.
Yeah, she did a good job acting.
No, she did. She did. No, she was fine. She was great. I didn't know who she was till called it right before. We were like, okay, she's got to be someone important. Like 2 seconds before they said it, I'm like, oh, it's got to be her.
Yeah,
because there's something that love struck idea.
Right.
Anything else interesting in this one? It was just kind of...
Not that I can think of. It was just,
It had to move things forward, connect some dots, reveal some things. I mean, Hook's hanging around being beat up constantly.
Mm-hmm. He's playing the part of Henry Gale this episode.
Yeah. The part of Henry Gale is played by...
Captain Hook.
You think they're going to try to free someone every time? Or that's just kind of the starting out? On one hand, that could be kind of cool. On the other hand, it might get too old. My guess is they won't do it every time.
Probably not the whole season. It might be a big...
I
like it as a theme and as a way to introduce more characters. And
yeah.
Not feeling like, oh, we have to remember this person for a while. It's like, no, we introduce a person, then we send them on.
Send them to Olympus or... Wherever
the better place is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like the...
I love the Cruella. We could go to worse place or better place, but I just want to go back to Earth. This is like... apparently your better place is not going to be very good.
Well, very truthful, though, for
her.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If Hercules goes to Olympus, can't Cruella go to, like, some sort of, like, swinging bar? I mean...
It depends on if how flexible your heaven is.
Yeah. I don't know. You think the author's hanging around here?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Or Merlin, even?
I guess so. It'd just be interesting who's here and who's... I mean, here's the problem. Right now, the only people here are fairy tale people. Is this Hades only for fairy tale people?
Oh, for Enchanted Forest people?
Or yeah, like not like normal humans, like...
I don't know. Well, we don't know very many normal humans, honestly.
No.
But, yeah.
I mean, obviously you wouldn't show them in the show. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, but it's just Storybrooke. I mean, you can't have...
I guess the only person that from the normal world that could appear were those people from that, like...
The society...
The anti-magic thing that Peter Pan was manipulating.
Yeah.
Which seemed like it was going to be uber important, and then they just dropped it as soon as they went to Neverland, which I was kind of bummed by.
Yeah, but that was kind of an interesting thing.
I like the idea of the outside world trying to explore Storybrooke more, but they've never really done anything with it.
No.
Anyway, that was this episode.
There it goes.
There it is. We got it done.
All right. Adios, everyone.
This has been Tim.
This has been Nick.
Bye.
Bye.